First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Hurts. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might get a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of like the opening drive to deal with, this guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How do they attack on offense?
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th. Butker's kick here is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the interception set up a terrific field position, but 3 points need a result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Offense ready to kick off their next drive. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame charge. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up a bit, a little bit, didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that. He said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw him tell him and say, hey, congratulations. How about that?
I bet you his buddy said, listen, you didn't know. I'll just go and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts. Understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
McCaffrey will take this into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was, and when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Hurts. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
A first down carry for Henry, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it, try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Throwing is Hurts. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Daxton Hill picks it off, and the Vikings are able to take over at their own 28-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far. They just threw something away on that snap. And, well, let's face it, as we move further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away? It could cost them a ball game.
Mills on first down. Out left and hauled in by Arcega-Whiteside. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mills gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
On play action, Mills. He'll rifle this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
A second down throw from Mills. Out to his left. They'll get this complete to Rondale Moore. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. Play fake, Mills. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. CD, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Odafe Owe. And the Lions will take over here at their own 14-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. A completion, yes, but certainly not what they wanted. A loss of a full 6 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
2nd and 16. Hurts sets up to throw it. That one complete. He finds Sharp. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. Here's Hurts to throw. pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back to the 40-yard line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Here comes the Lions punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Mills. They'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He said, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up the first down.
Odafe Oweh there on the tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Mills. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
So many times I advocate not challenging coverage downfield, but on this play, I thought he made an excellent decision to actually do so. If that had been complete, that would have been one for the highlight reel.
Play action now, Mills. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps. And the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. A very quick pass to Ridley. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. He'll drop to throw. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. It's a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up first downs.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
There's an incompletion, partner, and the struggles through the air continue because so far their lack of passing production has led to a lack of points.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And now here's another interception. Picked up by DeMonte Casey. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw a second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked up 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
That's a touchdown, Vikings! As the first half is winding down, and the Vikings continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken from about the 12. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll let this one go deep for Chuck. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He's got a man, complete. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. And in 2 plays just like that, they're already operating in the red zone. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. Oh, and he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line. And they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far. And that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Jake Bailey, set to kick off.
One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But they run it more effectively, it may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On 2nd and 9, Mills. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And they're going to take him down, but not before they're looking across midfield. That one good for 26 on 1st down.
That's another beautiful play right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it, and they pick up another 1st down there.
From the shotgun to McCaffrey. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Mills. He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. On the ground, McCaffrey. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
The kick is blocked and no good. Harrison Butker is set to kick off.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on it.
And, my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. But to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They go play action. Mills. Catch is made by Arcega right side. On the move past the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. It's a gain of 34.
I'm not sure this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Mills. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17. Into the red zone. 1st down.
Well, up big with still not hesitating to take some shots downfield, CD. I guess they really want to hammer home their dominance in this one.
Yeah, that much is apparent, partner. If they keep completing throws like that, they'll keep that gap awfully wide as they've established already.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Steps away to his left. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
It is certainly becoming rarer by the year to see your franchise guy take a hit like that. The defender couldn't believe he had a shot to light him up. So when you take off and run, you have to make sure you can slide, get out of bounds, anything. Just don't leave yourself open to hits like that.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound.
To throw, Mills sliding out of the pocket. Touchdown, Vikings! J.J. Arcega right side from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up.
Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Hurts throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Lions on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Play action. Here's Hurts. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Fred Warner. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They can continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. A good gain on 1st, has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. From the gun, it's Hurts. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Eric Armstead, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Well, I wish the staff luck as they try to find positives about this performance by their offense as we move through the early part of the 4th quarter. That sack, the latest example. Down by a boatload, this offense simply can't keep up, and the quarterback is still taking hits. I get the backups in there if it were me.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Play fake, Mills. They'll roll him out right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Adafe Owe coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down. It's a loss of 5.
A truly all-around great effort against the pass today. First an interception, now getting to the quarterback for the first time in this contest. I think offensively, they just forgot to prepare for him or simply overlooked him in getting ready for this one. Either way, a big mistake, and he's making them pay for it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
It's now 4th down.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line.
At their own 12-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the 4th quarter. And a big deficit, Charles. But they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board. So if you're moving it and you're not scoring, is it really working? Right now, they've got nothing left to lose. They might as well go for broke.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
So roughing the passer penalty, never one that you like to see.
Not at all, and especially when you're in that final push of the season. You can't afford to get your quarterback hurt before the playoffs roll around. And we know they'll be here before you know it.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing is Hurts. He's got his man, Schultz, coming across the formation. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Another big play as they get 28 out of that one. 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Avonte Maddox. The Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25. They've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the one interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mills now. That's going to be caught. Arcega-Whiteside. He's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Really good pick
from the start. And pass plays like we just saw, they're continuing their dominance here despite the big lead in the fourth quarter.
And that they have in every way. And plays like that across all phases of the game, they've just been effortless for them in this one. And that's what's helped them build such a large lead and allowed them to smile as this game continues.
That's complete to Arcega-Whiteside. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some postgame.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total. Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Makes the score, Vikings.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. From the 10. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On first down, Hurts. And now here is another interception. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, not only is his defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that zero on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Calvin Ridley, 55 yards.
And the Lions are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McCann, up and good.
As they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild